What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA camp today. Let's get started. Zhang Weili on competing against Valentina Shevchenko to become a double champion.
I was in here and he said that your team was waiting for him in the back, and earlier this week you had said if it was up to you, you would go up and try for a second belt against Valentina. Dana said he was going to talk to your team after. I'm curious, did your team and Dana talk after his scrum?
Yeah, let's talk with Dana later, but I think everything is about timing. So if there is a good time for both of us and to make this fight happen, it happens.
Aleksandre Topuria, the brother of Ilia Topuria, made a successful UFC debut during the preliminary round. He won by a unanimous vote over Colby Thickness. Alexander Volkanovski was in Colby's corner, while Ilia was in his brother's. After the fight, Alexandre praised his opponent, saying that even though Colby lost, he still deserves a UFC contract.
Let's talk about the rival. This guy was coming with he was very angry, you know, about okay, now I have the opportunity and let's show the world that Aleksandre Topuria is not his brother. He's like, I'm better than him, now it's time, let's take the chance to use this chance to show the world who I am. And this guy was coming for the win. I was feeling that, you know, but I think it was a very good fight. And I think this guy deserves UFC contract. Not because I win this fight, but because I feel this warrior soul in him. You know, very good, very good. So I think that I'm nobody for say this, but I think I feel myself, I have to say. And I will ask if I have some chance to ask somebody that he deserves the UFC contract. What can I say? Great fighter, great warrior, respectful. I want to hang out with this guy. What can I say? Very good guy. He has in Spain. If you want to come, he just have to ask for my name, and they're gonna bring him in my home. And yes.
Dricus Du Plessis offered his opinions on Sean Strickland's future. He thinks Sean and Israel Adesanya will probably face each other again. Dricus expressed his excitement for the battle and his belief that Sean will win again.
What do you think's next for him to the top?
That's a very interesting. I know what's going to happen next. I can almost guarantee you what's happening next. Is there any bet that he's fighting Adesanya next? Yeah, I just thought of that, yeah. Imamov, no ways. He's already shown that he beats that style every time. Yeah. Hey? Ooh, Rob. Oh, he said Rob only has a blitz. But that's only that'll be like, nah. I think the Adesanya rematch will be amazing. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, there's gonna be a fight night main event. I know it.
A majority draw was reached between Rodolfo, Bellato, and Jimmy Crute. Crute has now suffered 2 majority draws in his past 3 bouts, the first of which was against Alonzo Menafield in February 2023. At first, Terrence McKinney believed Jimmy Crute had won. He followed up by saying, "Fighting for 3 rounds just to get a draw and half your money. That's the motivation to end my fights early." In the 3rd round, Jimmy Crute appeared to be gassed, as Kevin Iole noted. After Sean Strickland lost to Dricus Du Plessis, Belal Muhammad blasted him. He claims that Sean is awful and didn't merit the opportunity to compete for the crown in the first place. Dricus is also awful, Belal continues, adding that Khamzat Chimaev will grab his title if he fight him next.
I told you guys, Strickland sucks. He didn't deserve the title fight. He didn't belong in the title fight. He never earned the first title fight. He's trash, awful. And now maybe they'll stop putting him in title fights. Every one of his fights is normally the same thing. I think he's going to come up with a lot of excuses for this one. He's going to say that he had staph. He's going to say that his nose broke in the 4th round, even though he lost the first 3. He just fights the same way every single time. Even in the Izzy fight, you go back to the corner work from Nixick, and he was telling him, like, bro, we're going to lose a boring decision. Like, you're not even doing much. And the judges still gave him the fight, but he always fights the same exact way. He's awful. I mean, I'm not saying Dricus is any better. Dricus kind of sucks, but he knows how to win. And he just always toughs it out. But yeah, hopefully we don't see Sean any more title fights. He never even earned any of his title fights. If Khamzat's next, I think it's gonna be new. Dricus really hasn't showed much on the grappling side. That tells me that he's gonna be able to defend the takedowns, defend the submissions. But we will see. He always figures a way out.
Tatiana Suarez lost to Zhang Weili by a unanimous vote. According to Ariel Helwani, Zhang Weili is the world's best female fighter. He continues by saying that her performance tonight left him speechless. Zhang Weili is said to as the greatest of all time by Anthony Pettis. According to Belal Muhammad, Weili is so good, what a performance. In response, James Vick said Weili must be freak strong physically to be doing this against such a high-level wrestler. It's very impressive. According to Derek Brunson, Zhang Weili will hold the title for a very long time. Zhang Weili is a powerful force, an all-time great, and a sport icon, according to Henry Cejudo. The only fight that makes sense, he continued, is for Weili to go up in weight and take on Valentina Shevchenko in order to become a double champion.
I always training really hard. I want to break through and really challenge myself and make myself a better fighter. I don't care what people said, whether I'm an underdog or not. I just want to focus on myself. Joanna is kind of like my idol, I always look up to her before even I got into UFC, and now I cannot believe that I'm tied with her. I think the biggest, my biggest advantage is my mentality. I think all the fighters in the top level, they already have the skill set, but the difference is whether you have the right mentality. I want to take a rest and see what will happen and then make my decision.
Sean Strickland lost against Dricus Du Plessis by a unanimous vote. In response, Khamzat Chimaev said, "Biggest is this fight," with emojis of yawning. In response, Belal Muhammad said, "Well, let me tell you something, guys. Sean sucks." He followed up by saying, "I can be a double champ pretty easily." After Sean injured his nose, Jamal Hill believed he was preparing for a late finish. Jamal then followed up with, "Then his nose got snapped. SMH." Since their initial battle, Alan Jubin believes Dricus has advanced in level. According to Henry Cejudo, Dricus is among the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in the world. He wrote, "Put some respect on the champion." And in response, Kenny Florian said, "Dricus just dominant tonight. Too many weapons, pace, pressure, and versatility for Strickland to handle." Sean proves his toughness once again, though.
And since he's standing across the octagon, is there no one else? Is there no one else? You're talking to Alex Pereira.
I'm done counting out Dricus Du Plessis. I'm done. And the truth is, we don't really know how good he is just yet, because 2 of those title defenses were against a Sean Strickland that didn't really do much. He did much more in the first fight, but this fight is like, this is going to be the easiest title defense of his career. Sean brought nothing, and it's very disappointing because I can't imagine he ever gets a title shot ever again. His coach is imploring him to dig down deep. If maybe we'll find out that staff was bothering him. Maybe we'll find out that something else. But like, there was never a moment where he even threatened anything different other than 1s and 2s. Honestly, when you're watching that, you have to remind yourself that that's a title fight.
It was like this, and you just went. And I went for like 2 minutes just trying to... Yeah, dude, I broke it, and I was like, well, in the movies, they just set it back into place. I saw you try it, and I was like, wrong way, man, wrong way. You went like this. No, I felt it. I said it, and the crazy thing is you shot on me again, and dude, your nose just touched in. I saw him when the bird... Hey, at the end of the day, man, we talk like you're a bad motherfucker. Best in the world. Best in the world. I gotta go to South Africa, man. I've actually been to a German once. I love it. Is that your woman? Hey, I don't want I'm bloody, but... You got a bad mother right there, man. I appreciate it. Toughest African I've ever met. Right here, really quick, guys. Thank you.
Sean Strickland was criticized for his performance against Dricus Du Plessis. Dean Thomas was harshly critical of Sean's performance as well, although Sean frequently says, "To the death, Prior to battles, Dean contended that Sean is not the fighter he portrays himself as, pointing out that his fighting technique does not match that mindset. In addition, he showed pity for Sean's coach, Eric Nixie, who was observed begging for more action in the later rounds, but Sean disregarded his orders. Dean stated, "We just have to admit it now. We have to admit it. Sean Strickland is not who he says he is. He is not who he says he is. We want him to be something. He wants to be something, but he's not that guy. He's not the guy who's going to go to the death. To the death. He didn't go to the death. He didn't even go deep. I'm not saying he's not a great fighter. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be where he's at, but he's not who he says he is. We've got to admit that. That's my point. As a coach, I feel for Eric Nixie because I know what it's like, and I don't even want to go and be in that situation again. I know I'm hard on Sean Strickland. I know it, but it's because I'm cheated. I feel cheated by you. I hear about these gym stories, these wars that you get into. I hear about how great you are, and then you go in these fights, these high-level fights, and you give us that. You cheat us." He didn't back off. He really tried to knock Sean out. Even in the 5th round, he did everything he could to make that fight exciting. He didn't have a willing dance partner. You jab and you kick. And I know, you're capable of much more. We want to see that. That's what I want to see from Sean Strickland. I don't want to see him jab his way to losses. I want to see him give me what he's capable of. I want to see the full potential of Sean Strickland.